Yo, what is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to go ahead and show you just a brief tutorial on how to use a plugin, Grief Prevention Plus. It's completely the same as your typical grief prevention. The only difference is a lot of people would consider it to be a better API, and it also uses MySQL as the database instead of the database on your server files. The plus advantage you're going to get from this is instead of having to necessarily run everything just through your server or your server files and your server necessarily having to possibly work more, you're actually letting a different database handle all the configurations for this plugin, and it is going to relieve some stress on your server depending on the stats of your server, of course. For those of you out there that are definitely interested in using this API, I do recommend this. I highly recommend it. I use this in my server, and it's fantastic. So let's get started. Let me just clear a few things. This plugin is going to be the exact same as Grief Prevention. Now, you are going to have your regular tool, your stick, to tell you what claims, whose they are, when they were made. Of course, it gives you an ID for them. For those who use that, you use it. I don't ever need to worry about it. Then, of course, you do have your golden spade, which you use to claim your blocks. As you see, I have 1,828. And of course, if you do need any land claim help, you can definitely go click this link down here. Now, that's just the basic stuff. That's nothing important right there. Now let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and move into the config files. These config files are going to be a little more complicated, as you have to fill in more than what you're used to in your regular grief prevention. As we go ahead and you open your config file for grief prevention, which should be located in your plugins, go ahead and do me a favor. I'm required that you already know all of these other changes that you can make. So we're going to go ahead and get straight to the point. You're going to go ahead and scroll down. Economy, if you use it, you use it. I will suspect that you already know how to. The only thing we're focused on today is down here where it says database, URL, username, and password. So this is just a little bit different than what you're usually used to on regular grief prevention. You're going to go ahead and type in the URL for your SQL database. Your SQL should always consist of what you see here. You're going to need the JDBC, the punctuation, MySQL, punctuation again, // You're going to put in your address of your MySQL. You should be able to find this if you're using a server host. A server host will give you this if you've already activated your SQL. If you don't have an SQL on your hosted server, definitely contact your company that's hosting your server and ask them to activate your SQL. That way you have that information. When you do have this information, put your address right here, and then do another / and put your username right there. Now, once you have that done, make sure to have a space. Not sure whether that changes or not, but that's what the default settings were already set to. So let's move on to username. Of course, you're going to need that space again, and then you're going to want to put the username. Of course, it's different for every single server. Of course, my information you see, don't ever use it, because it won't actually it won't give you anything good. It'll actually ruin your server because of all the claims that of my players. It would transmit to your world, and so you have a bunch of blocks that are claimed by people you don't know. So moving on to username, you already told you put your username in, and then last but not least, you're going to have your password. Again, another space, and then your password. Mine actually changes every couple of hours or whatnot. So that's what you're going to go ahead and do. Now, given that you've already followed these instructions, I will put out there that this was actually, I had to customly figure out. When I did download the plugin and ran it through, I did not actually get all this information. I actually had to figure out to put in the JDBC colon MySQL colon // and then the address / username. That was something I had to figure out. Um, if you're having trouble and you can't figure out, just copy what I did. Literally, keep this video on your side, pause it, and then copy exactly what you see here, and then go look for your address, and then delete mol.mchost.pro colon 3306 and change it with your address and your port. It should give you your port number. Mine showed on the top of my address. Yours might show very, very similar to there. If you don't find a port, then just simply copy my port, but put in your address right here, where for me it says mol mchost.pro. You're going to put your username there, and then of course /, and then put your username right where it says my username. So if you like I said, you can copy mine and do the deleting and then copy and paste and such. That should definitely get it started. If you have any questions or having trouble, definitely come leave a link down in the possibly a link to maybe the file you have set up for yours. I'll take a look at it given the fact that you put your information in it. If not, just leave a question in the comments if you're having any problems with this plugin. I'm pretty sure that any problems that you have are already problems that I've had, and the only problems that you could ever give out that wouldn't be something I can't fix is if there's an internal exception error. Even then, it's usually that's only going to happen if you're not putting in the right information. Now we're going to go ahead and move away from this config file, because as you already know, that's all you needed to worry about was the database URL, username, and password. So with that being said, and hoping you have it done, go ahead, restart your server, let that information go, read your console, make sure your console says it's loading it up. It usually says logging in or whatnot. Once you get on your server, you come play, and go ahead and right click one area and then go ahead and right click another. Of course, I can't do that because it would overlap an admin's claim, because we went ahead and actually used it for the spawn. Other than that, guys, the only thing I have left to go ahead and mention is that the place to go ahead and get this download would be down over at github.com at, I'm going to butcher this name, but Kai Kikush. He's the one that released Grief Prevention Plus. You can come to this page. I'll leave a link down in the description, of course. Come to this page, you can go ahead and it'll give you an overview of Grief Prevention Plus. It shows you that it's been tested at certain versions of Minecraft, supports certain levels or certain versions. Of course, you have installation, what features it has, extensions, notices, such like that. To go ahead and download the one you're going to need, go ahead and you're going to go over to releases. Now, assuming that you are playing or using a 1.7.10 Minecraft server, I am going to tell you that you're going to need the latest version 1.13.3. I am running that as well, and it does work. There hasn't been any issues. When you come and download this, you're not going to need the source code at all. Just go ahead and click on Grief Prevention Plus 1313 jar and go ahead and download it. Once you download it, put it into your plugin server, load your server up, and then stop your server. Make sure you have your configuration files for it. Go in and do the information I said at the very beginning. Other than that, really, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, I'll leave some descriptions down below. Go ahead and leave a very, very brief explanation of why Grief Prevention Plus would be considered a better API than your regular grief prevention. Now, for those of you, I know y'all might like other types of plugins for protections or even claims. If you'd like to see me do a tutorial on any kind of plugins, from economies to vaults, same thing, whether setting up shops, really any plugin, guys, let me know down in the comments below what kind of tutorials you'd like to see. I'll go ahead and keep publishing some more. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys on the next video, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out.